Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Yoga Flow. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of variety of um, some good stretches for the upper body, the shoulders, the upper back, where we all carry all of that tension all the time. Um, and the more that we work on stretching and opening, we're also working on strengthening. And the stronger that your muscles are, the more they can help hold your posture better and align the spine. So if you have a lot of tension up in this area, it's really good to not work only on stretching, but also on building strength to help the overall picture of health for your muscles and for your spine. We're also going to do a couple side angle poses into a triangle pose. And if you want to take a minute and grab a block or some kind of prop that you have, you don't need it, you don't have to use it, but if you want to, it can help hold the form a little bit better until you get more familiar with it. Triangle pose is one of those that's excellent for building strength. It also is a pose that really can bring some deep release in the hips and an opening. So there's a couple parts of it that I really will focus on as we're going through that tonight, just to make sure that we're really getting the most out of that pose. It also works really good for emotional baggage, so to speak, that we store in our hips. Emotional energy, negative energy, all of that is important to let go and release of. And triangle pose is one of those really great poses where you might be able to get a good release. So let's start out tonight grounding ourselves, taking some nice deep breaths in, letting go of the day, letting go of the stress of what you need to do tonight or the rest of the week, and just take this time to be present with yourself. And just try to check in with your body, keep that spine nice and straight, keep those sitting bones planted into the floor. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed down. If you're feeling like you're still way up here, just try to mindfully let the shoulders relax. Sometimes it helps to even, pretend that there's a weight sitting on your shoulders, kind of making them get back where they're supposed to be instead of up in our ears. And let's just take a nice few deep breaths here. I want you to feel that breath expanding and contracting through the abdomen, through the chest. So each time you inhale, let that belly really expand. And each time you exhale, just let that belly sink. And same thing with the chest. Each time you inhale, the chest expands. Exhale, it relaxes. Let's take a couple more of those. Good job. And we're going to start tonight with just some shoulder rolls. A really good way to alleviate some of the superficial tension that we're holding on to. So we're going to go backwards at first, and you don't need to hurry these up. Sometimes it works better if you kind of take your time and pay attention as you're rolling the shoulder, which area is causing you the most tension or pain? Where does it feel stuck? Couple more this way. And then let's go the other way. And same thing here. Just pay attention, to any area of the shoulder or neck or any part of the back even that are surging or trying to resist movement. Let's do a couple more. And then release. Let's go ahead and just keep this right hand down. You can put it either under your foot or your leg. And let's just reach up to the side. And the only thing I want you to work on with this is keeping this side as open as you can while keeping that sitting bone and leg on the ground and planted. And just take some nice deep breaths here. Each time you exhale, you might be able to get a little bit deeper in the stretch. And then back to center. Let's switch sides, so keep that left arm down, bring that right arm up. You're going to probably notice that on this one, just like anytime we're doing stretching on both sides, that there's always one side that's a little more resistant to want to let go, and that's perfectly normal. And come back to center. Just go ahead and take those hands behind the back, interlocking the fingers, and just lift the arms a few inches away from your back, keeping those shoulders down. Take some nice deep breaths here. And then release. Let's bring those arms around and walk the fingers out in front. And keep the sitting bones planted on the floor. So anytime you're in this stretch and you feel that your butt is starting to come up, come back a little bit closer back to the body. If you can, work with your breath here too. So on each exhale, extend those arms out a little bit more, walk those fingers forward. Nice deep breaths. And then let's just slowly walk those hands over to the left side. And back to center. And then over to the right side. Back to center. And then slowly come on up. And we're also going to be working with the strap a little bit. Again, if you don't have a yoga strap, just use a belt or a scarf. We're going to do some shoulder openers. So we're just going to take the strap, wrap it around the hands. It doesn't have to be a certain length or tightness on it. You can adjust it as you go. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath in first. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and bring those arms all the way up. And what you want to accomplish here is a little bit of gentle pressing back with the arms and the hands, like you were trying to kind of get to that wall behind you. And also keeping the shoulders down. It's also normal during this pose for sometimes the hands or the arms to get tingly or even numb. So don't be alarmed if that happens. It's just a lot of tension in the body, and that's why we're doing what we do. Okay, we're going to come down for a minute, let the arms kind of recalibrate, get back to normal. And I just want you to check in with a second with yourself and notice what is the most difficult part of that stretch. Is it the tightness in your back, your neck, the shoulders, maybe the arms? It can kind of help pinpoint to where maybe your trouble spots are the worst. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. So take a deep breath in, and then exhale, bring the arms up. And then come back down. We're going to give them another minute to relax. So just take some deep breaths here. And I'm just going to bring my hands a little bit closer on the strap for the next ones to the side. It's up to you how much lag you want to leave in the middle there. And then let's go ahead, bring those arms up. This time we're just going to stretch to the right side. And same thing here, just like when we did the single arm side stretches, you want to keep the opposing side down on the floor. Back to center, and then let's take it to the left side. And then back to center. Bring those arms down. We're going to give them a minute to rest again. And then we're going to do a twisting shoulder stretch, which is really good, not just for the shoulders, but the arms. Remember that the arms, depending on what you do for work, especially the forearms, the wrists, they can get extremely tight. And the nerves can get pinched. It can cause things like carpal tunnel, and so on and so forth. So it's a good idea to do these stretches often just to keep those areas a little more limber. Okay, let's bring those arms back up, and we're just going to twist the top of the body towards the right. This does not have to be a big movement, and I don't want you to move the lower body at all, just the upper body, and just a little bit. And you're going to feel this probably in your lower back a little bit too, and that's good. And then back to center, and then twist to the left side. And then back to center, and release. And go ahead and set that strap to the side. We're going to do just a couple more shoulder openers. So we're going to take this left arm, bring it back so your left hand is touching your shoulder or the back. Hold on to that left elbow with the right hand. Keep the head nice and neutral. You don't want to keep your head down here or extend the neck at all. You want to just keep that head neutral and just let that stretch focus on the arm, the shoulder, down the back. Just take a few nice deep breaths here. And then go ahead and release. Shake the arms out for a second. It's always a good idea to kind of give your arms like 30 to 60 seconds after doing these intense isolated kind of stretches, because it just gives them a chance to relax a little bit so they don't get over tensed on you. And then let's take that right arm up, right hand to the back, left hand to that right elbow. Head neutral, nice deep breaths. And then release. And we're going to do a good neck stretch. And And the neck is one of those problem areas for everybody that I see it as a therapist, I see it in yoga and in my own body especially. The neck is definitely my problem area. And sometimes doing even just head rolls are a little too much if you have a lot of any kind of arthritis or compromised spine issues. It's better to just do some gentle stretches with that neck so we don't exaggerate any conditions and make them worse, okay? So for this one, we're gonna sit on that left hand again. Take your right arm over so that your right hand is on that left side of your face, just like you were gonna slap yourself. And then just gently press that head down. So you're bringing that right ear towards the right shoulder, keeping the head neutral. Again, you don't have to have a lot of motion with this. Just take some nice deep breaths in. And then very slowly come back up. Release that right arm, sit on that right hand. Bring that left arm up, left hand to the right side of the face, and just gently press that left ear towards that left shoulder. And very slowly come back up and release. And we're going to come up into a squat. And again, you can always keep your hands down in front of you if you feel more stable that way, or if you want to work on your balancing, you can always bring those hands up to the knees. And then go ahead and let's slowly press up into a standing forward bend, letting the top of the body just relax and hang loose. And then very slowly, let's roll all the way up to standing. Come into a mountain pose, keeping those shoulders, the feet about shoulder width apart, shoulders back. Make sure that that spine is elongated, hands resting at the side. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then go ahead, bring those arms overhead. Let's take that left wrist in the right hand, stretch to the right. Back to center and release. Inhale, arms up, left or right wrist in the left hand, and stretch to that left side. And back to center. Release those arms. Go ahead and spread the feet a little bit wider apart. We're just going to hinge down from the hips, letting those arms come down wherever they're comfortable for you. Keep that head down and just try to release the weight of the head and the shoulders and the arms. And we're going to keep that right arm down and just reach up with that left arm. Remember, if this ever strains your neck, keep the head down or to the side. And then slowly come down. Left arm stays down, right arm extends up, same thing with that neck. Listen to your body. My body says, no, do not lift your head up. So sometimes I can turn it to the side, sometimes I leave it down. So just be mindful and give yourself some grace with these moves. And then come back down, slowly roll yourself up. We're gonna work through a couple variations of a side angle and then a triangle pose on each side. So we're gonna start with turning that, or grounding that left heel, turning those left toes out a little bit, and then we're gonna just extend the right toes out. And we've done regular side angle pose before, so we're just gonna bend that right knee, rest that right arm down, and reach up with that left arm. And nice deep breaths here. The breath work in these poses is what helps keep you centered and the muscles working to help stabilize the body, create that balance and strength that you need. And then very slowly come back out. And we're going to go just into a little deeper version of that, an extended version. And this is where the blocks come in super handy. And you can either keep it up vertically or horizontally. This way is just going to give you a little bit more height. You don't have to use it at all. It's up to you. But we're going to bend that right knee again and then keep that block right on the inside of that right foot. And you can either put your hand on that block, you can put it on the floor, whatever you feel more comfortable with, and then just reach that left arm up. So this is the same pose, it's just a variation of it, so it's working and isolating a little bit different muscle groups. You might feel this one a little bit more in that right leg and maybe through the lower back as well. And then slowly come back up. And we're gonna let that side chill out for a minute. We're gonna do these same two poses on the left side. So let's go ahead and ground that right heel, right toes pointed at an angle, left toes out. Go ahead and just bend that left knee, bringing that left arm down and extending the right arm up. And with these, anytime you're doing a pose that involves bending the knees, it's good to just check in with yourself every once in a while and make sure that that knee stays behind the toes. And let's slowly come back up. And we're gonna move into that extended version. Same thing with the block here. If you don't need it, don't use it. If you feel like you can do one side with it and one side you still need it, that's fine. And each day is gonna be a little different too, so don't get discouraged if you're more stiff or tense one day. Let's go ahead and bend that left knee. Bring that left hand down to either the block or the floor and reach that right arm up. And then let's slowly come back up onto this. And we're going to transition back over to the right side. And we're going to work through a triangle pose. I'm going to use the block tonight to demonstrate that. Again, you don't have to. If you have the flexibility to get your hand down all the way to the ground, go for it. The only thing that I do encourage with using the block, especially if you're kind of new to this pose, is that it does allow you to concentrate more on your form, especially in the beginning. The key element in this pose is the shifting of the hips, and it's a very subtle move. It's not easy to see or demonstrate, but you can feel it when you're doing it. So we're going to keep those feet placed just like they were for side angle pose. And we're going to extend both arms out to the side. I want you just to turn and look over that right arm. And we're going to first reach with that right arm. So I want you just to practice reaching a little bit. And when you're doing this, you want to feel that shift in your hips so that your right side, it's like your right hip's trying to reach your right hand. Okay? So it's that action first and then coming down. So if you're not using a block, you'll bring that hand all the way down and extend that left arm up. If you are using the block, you can use it either way, vertically or horizontally. Take some deep breaths here. There's a lot happening during this pose. So if you need at any time to come out of it or take a break, go for it. It's working the legs, the arms, the torso, the butt, the core, everything. And you're also working on balance as you're building strength with this. A couple more nice deep breaths here. And then very slowly come back out of it. And we're going to switch sides. So again, shifting that right heel into the ground, right toes out, left toes at the angle. If you're using the block, just place it on the inside of that left foot. Let's extend both arms out, look over that left hand. And again, let's practice just that reaching first. It's like you're reaching for something that you really want on the wall or whatever is in front of you. And then when you feel like you felt that shifting in your hips, come on down either to the floor or to the block, extending that right arm up. And again, here with your neck positioning, it's the same thing as any of them that we do. If you have the mobility and the flexion, go ahead and look up. If you're feeling like that's pulling, you can look down or neutral, okay? Couple more nice deep breaths here. And then very slowly come back out a bit. Let's go ahead, walk those feet together and just set the block to the side. Let's take a couple more nice deep breaths in and exhale and inhale and exhale and come down into a forward fold, back down into your squat. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to come down onto the knees. Go ahead and just sit back on the feet. Let's extend those arms out into child's pose. And slowly walk the hands back. And we're going to go ahead and come down onto the back. We're going to start just by bringing both knees in and just giving those knees a nice hug in towards the chest, releasing the tension in the shoulders. And then slowly release the feet to the ground And we're gonna come up into a bridge pose to kind of give one more nice big opening stretch for the front of the body. So you can start by pressing your palms into the floor, lifting the butt and the legs up, and you can stay here or interlock the fingers under the back. And just keep taking some nice deep breaths. You want to focus on just keeping that pushing up through the pelvis and the legs, and keeping that lower back and your core nice and strong and engaged. And then go ahead and slowly come back down. And let's hug those knees into the chest one more time. This time, if you want, you can rock side to side a little bit. And then come back to center, release both feet down. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg along the ground and bring just that right knee into the chest. When you're bringing the knee in these kinds of reclined poses, you kind of want to be taking it the direction of that same side armpit. So it's towards the chest and kind of like you were trying to put that knee into your armpit. And then let's go ahead and let's straighten that leg up as much as you can and just hold on to the back of the leg. And if this is too intense, you can keep the knee bent as much as you want. If you want to get more of a stretch for the calf and the back of the leg here, push up through that heel. Or if you want to get it through like the shin, you can point the toes. You can kind of play around with it, see what feels better, what your body needs more tonight. And then let's go ahead, bend that knee. Extend that right leg out, bend that left knee in, gently squeezing it up towards the shoulder and that left armpit. And then let's go ahead and straighten that left leg, holding on to the back of the leg. Again, bending it if you need to, flexing the foot or pointing the toes or both. And then let's slowly bring that foot back to the ground. And let's just go ahead and walk those feet together, letting the knees drop open to each side and just letting the hands rest on top of the belly. And just start to tune in to your body once again. Start to become aware of any areas that are sore or you feel tension or that don't want to release. And just use these few minutes of relaxation and meditative time to kind of focus on those areas. Just let the shoulders relax into the floor. Let the hips open. Just let those legs drop to wherever they comfortably can go. And let's just place the hands on the belly very lightly, gently feeling the rise and fall of the belly in your hands. And let's go ahead and very slowly extend those legs out. Let the arms fall to the side. Make any adjustments to the hips and the shoulders that you need here. And just let the body melt into the floor. Let it feel grounded and safe and secure. And at the same time, allow the top of your body to just feel open and light and receptive. Just fall into the rhythm of your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your belly and your chest. And let's just focus on relaxing the toes. Relax the feet. Relax the ankles. Relax up through the lower legs, relaxing the knees. Relax up through the upper legs. Open and release the hips. Relax up through the belly and the lower back. Relax up through the rib cage and the chest. And relax the shoulders. And relax up through the arms. And relax the wrists and the fingers. Relax the neck. And relax the muscles of the face and the eyes. And just breathe. We're gonna start to very slowly move the fingers and the toes and the hands and the feet. And start to bend the knees. And hold on to the legs as you slowly roll yourself up. Just come back into a simple cross-legged pose. Keep those eyes closed. Shoulders relax. Let's take a deep inhale up and exhale. One more time. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Bring the hands to the heart. Thank yourself for doing something positive, and thank you for joining me. Namaste.